Hi and welcome to another gaming video, and in today's video I just want to quickly talk about the PlayStation Portal remote player. So Sony have just announced some further details, including the name, which is the PlayStation Portal remote player. A little bit long-winded. I think it's going to be shortened to the PlayStation Portal, but that might sort of confuse it with PlayStation Portable, and I'm sure those two terms are going to get mixed up. So there were rumours that Sony were making a new handheld console floating around a few months ago. It was referred to then as the PlayStation Q, and us PS Vita fans got very excited for a short amount of time because we desperately would really love a second console, a PS Vita 2. But it ain't going to happen. So it was quickly announced that it was just going to be a remote play device, which means therefore it needs to be attached to a console, be that a PS4 or a PS5, because the remote play on a PS Vita is fantastic. You can hook it up to, well, you could hook it up to a PS3, but it was mainly used for PS4, so you could play your PlayStation 4 without having the TV on, and that's exactly what this PlayStation Portal remote player is going to be. It's going to be a PS5 accessory that allows you to do remote play, and it's a good idea because I did really like the remote play option, but I think it's one of those accessories that just isn't needed. There are plenty of ways of doing remote play on a PS5 or a PS4 without owning a Vita or this new PS Portal. You can just sync your controller up to a smartphone and use the smartphone as a screen. So it's one of these accessories which I can't work out whether it's going to do very well or not. So it isn't a new console. It's just a PS5 accessory. It's a DualSense controller with a screen in it. So we've got a few more details that Sony have just announced. So it's going to be around the $200 mark. It's going to be released in late 2023. So it could be the holiday season accessory to have. It's going to be Wi-Fi only. There's going to be no Bluetooth, so you can't link your existing headphones to it. It's going to use some sort of proprietary audio, like Sony likes to do, called the PlayStation Link, which is supposed to be high quality lossless audio, but it means you won't be able to use your regular headsets with it. It's got an 8-inch 1080p screen. That sounds great. It's got haptic feedback and it's got adaptive triggers. We don't yet know about battery life. You will not be able to use it for streaming, so any ideas of hooking it up and using it on the PlayStation Cloud, that's not going to happen. This is purely an accessory for the PS5, and I mean, it looks good. It looks a little flimsy, if I'm being honest. If you take something like the Vita, it's a solid chunk with a screen in the middle, even the Switch with the two Joy-Cons on the side. But then you've got this PS Portal remote player, which the screen looks really thin. From what I've seen of it anyway, the controller side of it on the edge of the screen just seems like it's, I don't know, to me it just doesn't look like it's a massively durable console. And at $200, I'm not sure about that price point. Here in the UK, that's probably gonna be around the £150 mark. So it's quite an expensive controller to own, but it is a good idea. I do like the whole remote play element of the Vita. It's good. It's similar to how the Wii U could play games on the gamepad, so you didn't need your TV. You've obviously got the Switch, which negates TV altogether. That's portable and home play done how it should be, but obviously then you get the lack of power. Whereas the PS Vita and this PS Portal remote player is just a screen device with controllers, so there's going to be no processing going on in the device itself. All of the power is going to be handled by the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 in the case of this PS Portal. So it is just a screen. So you're going to get the graphics and the power from the PS5 squashed down onto an 8-inch 1080p screen. I think they're going to look phenomenal. Even PS4 games on a Vita look superb. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. As a fan of the PS Vita, I was very disappointed that this wasn't going to be a sequel. Not that I really expected it. The PSP, moderate success, actually quite a big success. The Vita fell flat on its face, and Sony have just not gone down that route since. Like I said, it's not, remote play is not being exclusive to Sony handheld consoles or Sony controllers like this remote portal, PS Portal is. They have opened it up. You can do remote play on your smartphone, so I couldn't see them breaking back into the handheld market, especially with things like the Switch and, well, in ways the Steam Deck. There's too much competition, and Sony haven't done very well in the past in that market. So that is as much as we know. Like I said, it's going to be released in late 2023, so it could be that they're going to release it for what they call the holiday season in America. It could be the latest Christmas thing that you need to have. At $200 or about £150, I don't think it's too excessive when you think some of the more normal controllers can reach £60, £70, £80. It's not too much of a stretch. It's going to be one of those devices that it's going to be for big time Sony fans, but it is a great idea. I do like the whole remote play option. I just wish Sony had gone in and offered maybe a bit more, because they've got this cloud service that they're apparently not going to be putting into the PS Portal. That would have been a nice way into it. It would have been great if you could have if this had Wi-Fi and you could have streamed your games on this remote player. Maybe they will rethink it, maybe they will add that in, but as far as I know, that's not happening. In terms of battery life, it's a tricky one, because obviously things like the Switch and the Vita didn't have fantastic battery life, but all the processing was done on the device itself. So you got about 5 or 6 hours out of either a Switch or a Vita, whereas this is just a screen. All the processing is done on the PS5 itself, so we could see quite a lot of battery life. We need at least 10 to 12 hours battery life, a day's worth of playing before it needs charging. So that is as much as I know. No PS Vita 2. The PlayStation Q is actually going to be called the PS Portal Remote Player, and it is just a PS5 remote play controller accessory with a great big 8-inch screen. So there you go. That's what I know. That's what's been announced. I'll keep you informed if anything changes. Like, subscribe, enjoy.